Hello, welcome to the final day of the challenge. Can you believe it? We made it. And if you stuck with us for this long, well done you. You are committed. That commitment will take you far in your business. So I promised that I had something special to share with you today, and I do. We are going to look at, hello Kath, good morning. We're going to look at Undiscovered to fully booked, 5 steps to get all the clients you need. And this is my signature talk that I use when people book me to speak. And we're going to use it here as a way to summarize everything that we've covered in the challenge this week. And I will be offering you a way to come and work with me more deeply, to build on what we've done, on the work we've done in the challenge together, and really take your business from where it is to thriving and fully booked in one of my paid programs. So I will be making you that offer as well. Stick around till the end, because this is a value-packed session and you're not going to want to miss any of it. So with that, let's dive in and get started. So perhaps you don't have enough clients in your practice right now. Perhaps you wake up in the middle of the night worrying about whether this business is going to work and wondering why it seems to be so hard to attract clients in. You know, you started this business because you have a mission and you have a message to share with the world. So why is it so hard? You know, we show up with our hearts open, ready to serve, and the clients don't come. You know, you may be fed up with feeling overwhelmed and sitting down at your desk to work on your business, but not knowing where to spend your precious time and energy. You may find yourself jumping from program to program, free thing to free thing, getting distracted on Facebook by promises of 6 figures and client getting strategies and the latest process from a guru, right? You get shiny object syndrome. And when I wrote this out this morning, I realized that it's SOS, shiny object syndrome. And really, if you're experiencing shiny object syndrome in your business, it is SOS. It's an emergency, because jumping from one thing to another never works. It keeps us stuck. And you may be pouring your heart and soul into your business, you know, doing all you know to get clients, and yet they don't come, and you can't figure out why people are not resonating with your offer, because you know you have so much that you can help them with, and you have so much to give, and you're good at what you do. Sorry, I'm just distracted by my super fuzzy hair, but you're used to it by now. I live up north, that's my excuse. It's very windy up here. So you may be tired of feeling overwhelmed and trying to do all the things, trying to be on all the social media platforms, getting distracted, not knowing where to focus, spending your day feeling busy and working really hard, but then at the end there are still no clients. Maybe the months are going by, or the years in some cases, with little to no clients. Or maybe you have a few clients and you've done that, but you are still working a job because you've yet to get the system down which will attract enough clients into your business to allow you to go full time. So perhaps you are struggling for energy because you're also working a job as well, and you're hustling, and you're stuck in that transition. And that is an exhausting place to be, I know. So I remember it's a tough spot. Perhaps you get consumed by FUD. We talked about this, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, right? And I actually looked this up online, and it has a deeper meaning. It's a marketing term, and apparently it's what some big organizations do to kind of smear their competitors. So that's not super nice, but I thought, we'll keep it anyway, because being in FUD does not feel nice, right? But I remember when the first time I tried to launch my coaching business, I was paralyzed by fear so much of the time, because I was in a scarcity mindset. I was concerned about whether I could make this business work, and really used to find myself in fear and doubt a lot. I didn't know if I could do it. And so I would wake up worrying, and I would doubt myself. My confidence would go through dips and drop down. And I would wonder, can I really do this? Maybe I'm not cut out for business. Perhaps you feel the same. Perhaps all the trying, all the striving has made you feel and wonder, maybe you're just not cut out for this business thing. How often do you think maybe it would just be easier to get a job sometimes, right? Well, it would be easier, but it's not our mission, is it? And the thing is, you think that, but something in you keeps you holding on. Something in you keeps you, attached to this dream of building a business. And it's painful to be consistently experiencing all this fear and doubt and uncertainty. You just want to know that you can do it and have a step-by-step process to follow. If you're anything like me, you really, really want to have, if you're anything like I was, you really want to have a business that is full of your ideal clients who you love working with, who you wake up excited to work with. And you want to enjoy your days. You want to be in charge of your own schedule. And if you want to take the dog for a walk in the middle of the day, well, you'll do that, right? You're fed up of eating soggy salad from a box at your desk at work. And you would like to take a proper lunch break at home where you can eat salad from a plate. Perhaps this is you. This was me, right? If you're anything like I was, you really want to earn great money whilst fulfilling your dharma and your mission, making a difference to others, a profound difference, helping people, but getting fair compensation for it, getting paid well, because you deserve it, and learning to experience and feel your own value as a woman and your power. If you're anything like me, you would love to do this business thing, and I do this business thing more with more ease and grace, in a more feminine way, so that it's not the masculine hustle, do at any cost. Rather, it's productivity the feminine way, so creating space, being efficient with our time, knowing our values, and creating our life and business based around our biggest values. One of mine is freedom, one of mine is autonomy, love, connection. Maybe you share some of the same values. I would love for you to drop me a comment and let me know, what are your highest values for your life and business? Drop me a comment, let me know. What are your values? So you want to create a business that supports those, and a lifestyle that feels good. You want to be in touch with your spiritual self, your soul. You want to be journaling and having time in the morning for your spiritual practice while you sip your hot water and lemon or your tea, and you get ready for the day ahead. And then when you sit at your beautiful desk with your beautiful view at home, maybe with your PJ bottoms on. I haven't, by the way, I've got leggings. But you get to sit down and work on something you love and create your own business and really make a difference, make an impact in the world in a deep and meaningful way that shifts others and helps heal everything we're going through on this planet right now, because it's needed. The world needs you to step into your power, to stop playing small. Do you want that? Let me know. Let me know, drop me a comment, tell me. What do you want? And so the first time I tried to launch my coaching business, I failed. I've shared this story with you, but for the benefit of this session, I'm just going to briefly share it again. So when I first tried to launch my coaching business over 6 years ago, I was possibly very much like you are now, full of heart and soul, full of passion, excitement, really wanted to do this. But I also had so much fear and doubt. I hadn't landed in my own power. I tried to launch my coaching business. I signed up to a program, paid £10,000 to be in a coaching program, which was great because I got my coaching skills, right? But the promise of the program was make your 10K months. And that sounded good to me. I was like, oh yeah, 10K months. Yeah, I can travel and drink champagne and be cool. And it was pretty ego driven in some ways. There are parts of it that are soul led for me. But at the time, I didn't really know myself. I didn't know what I was supposed to create, or what I wasn't super in touch with my inner guidance. And so I was like, yeah, 10K months, and kind of very naively just thought, that sounds good. I think I'll do that, right? Best of intentions. But they say that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Well, so here's me with all my, all my passion, all my excitement, but it's my first real foray into online business. And I'm jumping in and I'm doing the whole leap and the net will appear, because I had a very charismatic teacher, mentor who did all that stuff, right? Said all that stuff. Burn your boats. So left my job, went traveling with my husband, did this whole coaching business thing, spent our savings that we'd saved for the trip on coaching, private coaching now on top of the program I was in that I'd paid 10,000 for. So private coaching at another, I think it was 3,000 a month, or was it a quarter? Maybe it was a quarter. Anyway, significant amount of money. Spent our savings, felt horrible about that because it wasn't just my money, it was mine and my husband's. But the coach that I spoke to at the time said, look, do it and then you can earn money and make it back. And I was like, yeah, and that the idea is cool and you kind of can, but the coach was not super powerful. She didn't have really a clear business process. She was a bit woo-woo. And, also I wasn't ready. There were a number of reasons. I hadn't developed into who I needed to be. I was really snipping at and grabbing at outside stuff instead of landing inside of me and coming from my own power. Anyway, you know the story. It got really hard. I did earn some of the money back. I did bring some clients in, but it was a feast or famine cycle. Some months I'd have clients, some months I'd have none. We were in France traveling, my husband and I, first in a motorhome, then we were house sitting. We had months where we were like literally feasting. I can remember the kitchen table in one of the houses in France, wooden table, covered in like French meats and salamis and cheeses and salad and French stick. And we were feasting because I brought on some clients that month. The next month, nothing. And we'd go to the supermarket and we'd be literally counting our pennies to see what we could afford, like noodles and lentils, right? It was crazy. And all the time racking up credit card debt. Part of the issue was I was the only one working. My husband was not, at the time, was not able to work out the online thing because it's hard, right? I don't blame him per se, but I was the one hustling buns. And because I'd spent the money that we'd saved, I felt completely responsible. I thought it was all on me and I had to do it by myself. And that was so much pressure. So you can imagine the fear and doubt, the FUD that I was in, right? Oh my God, that time was crazy. So I do things to the extreme, or I did. I still do to a degree, but maybe not quite like that. And so when I now work with clients and potential clients, I don't encourage you to do things in the extreme way that I do. But typically what I see is that most people I talk to are stuck, and they're kind of the opposite way from me. They're like too cautious and they're not wanting to spend any money or do anything, right? And they're stuck in that way. So it's just the other side of the pendulum. It's like the other side of the continuum. But it's finding that sweet spot in the middle where we do invest. Investing is necessary, both with money, time, and energy. But we don't overstretch and we don't understretch and get stuck and be unwilling to spend our money, right? So it's finding that spot in the middle, because if this is your real dream, if this is your life's mission, why wouldn't you put your money where your mouth is? It's crazy not to, right? So anyway, that was the first half of my story. Just to wrap that little piece up, what ended up happening is my husband fell back into his drug addiction, and I was so preoccupied trying to make this business work, I didn't notice at first. We came back to England because he could work here. You know, he's a chef, so he could then go and earn some money to help support us. But then the drug addiction came out. I stayed with him for another 6 months. At the same time, my business failed because it was too hard. I couldn't keep all the balls in the air. My heart was broken because I saw my husband going through this. You know, I'm just going to be really, really vulnerable and honest with you and share heroin addiction. He was addicted to heroin, and this was shocking to me. It was shocking and terrifying. Couldn't keep my business going. So, you know, then I left the relationship. I left the marriage. That was super hard too. Got judged by his family. Ended up going back to my parents' house now with no business, no husband. I even left the car that we shared. So I had no car. I had my laptop. That was it. And I went back to my parents. Tiny spare room. And I did that thing. I got a job. You know, that thing we were all so scared of. Oh my God, what if it doesn't work and I have to get a job? That was me. It happened to me. That was my reality. So I get it. I understand the fear, the doubt. I've been there. But you know what? Even in that darkest of time, I knew I never really gave up inside of me. Yes, I temporarily went and got a job to get myself sorted financially, pay off my debts, get my credit rating sorted. But inside of me, I never gave up. I knew that I was supposed to do this business thing, and it never went away. So even during that time, it didn't leave me, and I didn't really leave it. So, you know, I will finish that story in a little bit. Suffice to say, I did turn it all around. You know that because I'm here speaking to you today, right? So I did turn it all around. I did find the way, and I was able to change that for myself. And I'm going to share that with you. So hold tight, because I'll finish that story shortly. So what would your life look like if you had the ideal business of your dreams? You know, how would you be spending your days? How would that feel? What time would you be getting up? What would you be doing first thing in the morning that you're not doing now? You know, would you have more time for the morning routine? What time would you be going to bed? Who would you be spending your days with? What kind of clients would you love to work with? And how would that feel? You know, perhaps you'd have time for yoga in the day. Perhaps you would be working on exciting projects in your business and doing talks and speaking and running workshops. Perhaps you would be coaching clients. Perhaps you work with clients in a different way. Perhaps you're a therapist or a healer or a virtual assistant, but you would have rock star clients that appreciate you and pay you well, and you would own your value as a woman. Perhaps you'd have a beautiful home office that just had you feeling inspired every time you sat down at your desk to work. What else? What else would it look like? How would it feel? But that isn't your reality right now, is it? So how do we get you there? Well, here's what might be going wrong for you. Here's why it hasn't happened yet. You may not be fully landed in your power, as I wasn't the first time I tried to launch my business. You may not have connected in deep within yourself. And this is one of the things I really support women to do when they work with me, because it's so key, because without this piece, nothing else works. So we get you into that place. You know, a great coach will facilitate you so that it comes from you. So it's not like them telling you, right, do this, do that. Now there is a process, but that the creativity, the power, the desires, they come from inside of you. The second thing is you may be overwhelmed, and you may have shiny object syndrome and trying to do all the things. And so you're scattered and you're not focused on your 2 client generating strategies that would actually move you forward in your business. That you don't know what to do when you sit down at your desk to work. And so you're busy, but no results. You don't have a proven system to follow that has been proven to work. Excuse me. Hi, Alison. Alison said she couldn't get on. I wonder why that is. Hopefully you're here now. Yeah, you may not have a proven step-by-step system that has been proven to work over and over again for real people in our industry to get clients. And if you don't, then you're really just fuffing around in the dark, trying to work it out. And that's not a clever place to be. And perhaps you have tried cookie cutter systems, but they didn't fit with your personality. Because the other thing I know about my people is that, yes, you need a process to follow step by step, so you know what to work on each day when you sit down to work on your business, but it has to be tailored to your personality. We're all unique. There's no point me telling you to do something that's not in flow for you as an individual. You will hate it and you won't do it and you'll stay stuck. So that is completely pointless, and I will never do that to you. So you need a system that works for you. You need someone with experience to guide you. Perhaps you don't have that. Perhaps you don't have someone who genuinely cares about you and your success in your business, wants to see you succeed, is in it with you, right? Meets you there. Now you have to show up. They can't do it for you. No mentor can do it for you. I can't do it for you, but I can show up with you and I can match you so that if you show up with full energy, commitment, and you keep going and you keep showing up consistently, even when it's hard, even when you hate me, because if we work together, there'll come a point where you'll probably hate me because I'm going to push you and challenge you and push you out of your comfort zone and get you to do the things that are going to move you forward. But that's okay. If you keep showing up, I'll keep showing up, and we do this together, right? And it doesn't have to be me, but it has to be someone with experience who can take you down this path, take you by the hand and lead you down this path so that you show up with the energy, you do the work, you land in your power. I can help you with that, but you land in your power and I show you the way step by step. Now we do this, you need to tweak that. Let's look at that. Why isn't that working? There's strategy here. There's no problem in your business that is not fixable, but you don't know what you don't know, and that's the problem. And people get stuck for years trying to figure it out by themselves. Perhaps you haven't committed to a program and to one mentor for long enough, jumping from thing to thing. I used to do this and it showed in my results. It was only when I found a mentor I related to. And listen, it's not even about the mentor really. I mean, of course, pick someone that you relate to, that you like. But when you have picked someone, it's about commitment. We're all human. So whoever you work with is going to have flaws and they're not going to be perfect. But if you've made the commitment, your commitment isn't to them. It's not to me. Your commitment is to yourself to keep showing up no matter what and get everything out of the program. It only worked for me once I committed to one mentor and one program for a significant period of time, and I kept showing up. And the program I'm in now with one mentor is a 2-year program, and to be honest, I'm probably going to stay in it for life. So there's that. Be committed. If it isn't working, you haven't shown up with the level of commitment yet. And I know that's hard to hear, because I felt like for all those years, I felt like I was giving it my all. I was like, if anyone said I wasn't committed, I wanted to punch them. I was like, are you insane? Do you know how hard I'm working? But I wasn't being smart. I didn't know what I didn't know. And I was still coming with some little girl energy. So I still was jumping from program to program, blaming it a bit on the mentor, right? Instead of showing up fully, doing the work, sticking in it for the long haul, because businesses take time to build. Yes, I can get you there way quicker than you ever would on your own, but it's still building a business. Why do we come into this online world and expect that we'll get results tomorrow? You wouldn't do that with a brick and mortar business. So it's about being committed. But listen, hey, it's not your fault. It really isn't. You don't know what you don't know. And so there's nothing wrong with you. There really isn't. Just like there was nothing wrong with me, I just had gaps in my knowledge and my approach wasn't the best, right? And, and I was going through all the personal stuff at the time, which needed sorting out, right? And like personal stuff happens all the time. Personal stuff happens to me now, and I'm at a position where I'm okay. I can still do my business and it's all good. But right back then, my life needed to crumble. It was too many things in one go, losing my marriage, losing all my money, not having a place to live, all the things. It was too hard at the time. But that was my personal journey that needed to happen to me. Perhaps you've been through something similar in your past, and perhaps you feel some trauma. We all share similarities in our story. Your story won't be exactly the same as mine, but we've all been through stuff. But now is a new time. Now is a fresh time. This is your opportunity to say yes to you, to fully commit and to do things differently, and to not skip from mentor to mentor or program to program, but to choose and show up fully, to invest, yes, with your time and your money, and make that commitment, and then make sure that you get everything out of it. And I'll help you make your business work. I'll help you get the clients. I spent years figuring this all out. Over 6 years, trial and error, pain, heartbreak, blood, sweat, tears. But I did turn it around. And so can you. I will show you how. Would you like me to share with you how I did it? Would you like me to show you how? If you would, say, show me, Julie, in the comments below. Drop me a comment. Say, show me. I want to know. Shall I share this with you? I'm guessing because you're here, it's probably a yes. So I'm going to take a certain amount of liberty and go ahead. Oh, gosh, my battery's going to run out. 1 second. Schoolgirl error, didn't plug in. Okay, so sound good. So let me share with you the 5 steps to fully booked. And this is going to be summarizing what we did this week. So stick with me, ladies. This is going to be super valuable. So number 1 was land in your own power. Now, I've talked extensively about this, but just to finish off my story, after my life really imploded, it was only really when I landed in my own power and I checked in with me, who is Julie? And I let myself land and find my sea legs, if you will, or I don't know if that's the right expression, but I let myself land in myself. And suddenly I discovered the power that was inside of me. And I said, who is Julie? And what is supposed to come through me? What would I love to create? And more than that, what is my soul asking me to create? What is my, Catherine and Alison are saying, show me, Julie. Thank you, loves. I will. What is my soul asking to create through me, right? To bring to this world that I love, that needs our services. What is asking to come through? And then I found a mentor I believed in, and I committed again. By this time I'd paid off some of my debts. I'd been in my job, but I didn't have money. I was still in debt. I found a mentor and I paid £6,000 to work with her. So ladies, I have to say it, and I know this is not all of you, but when some of you show up and say you really, really want to work on this, and some of you come and say you really want to work with me, and you're fully committed and this is your mission, and then we come to the investment and you don't want to use a credit card, or you don't want to, dip into savings, or whatever it is, you don't want to use the money, I do have a little bit of a hair-tearing moment. And I say this with love, only because I get it. I understand the fear and the difficulty. And I remember the difficult conversations with my husband at the time. I'm not minimizing those things, but I also know what it takes. And I have invested over and over again when I didn't have the money. So when I hear money being used as an excuse, my heart breaks a little bit, right? And I get it, and I want to give you lots of love, but I also get very frustrated with it. Because I'm just like, come on, if this is really your life mission, really, are you telling me you're not going to invest a bit of money to make it happen? Like, what is that? This is our lives. We can make more money. It's not like that we suddenly stop being able to make money. Money is a renewable resource. Your time, your life isn't. Day by day, your life, your time, your energy is going. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a doom monger, but it's true, right? So I've gone off on a bit of a rant, but I just wanted to share that. And so it was only when I invested again with one mentor and I focused on her program to the exclusion of everything else, and I took the steps and I kept showing up, and I had my first incremental growth with the coaching and mentoring side of my business. I was already fully booked with OBM clients by then, right? I've always had a full schedule of clients since I relaunched 3.5 years ago. But it was only once I fully committed and I made the investment, and then I showed up consistently from the place of power within myself, that everything shifted. So that's step number one, land in your own power, and then translate that to your business, right? So once you're in touch with your power, work with a really good business coach to help you take that power, that uniqueness about you, and translate it into your business offering, because that's where the magic happens. I can help you with that. All right, number two, and this is summarizing from the week. Pick 2 client generating strategies only to focus on, just 2. This will help get you out of the overwhelm, but it can be really hard to do it by ourselves. I knew about this quite a long time ago, but boy, I still had difficulty doing it. It's so easy to get distracted when we're by ourselves and we're looking on Facebook, and it feels like it's not working because we don't have the certainty in ourselves to commit and just keep working at one strategy. That's where an amazing coach can help you, because they hold you accountable and they keep you on track. And so, really sticking to it and not getting distracted, and a community can help with that too, to really hold you accountable. Step number 3 is moving past your FUD, right? Your fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And I shared in one of the sessions with you in this challenge my exact process for doing that. Gave you so much value. So I teach that process on all of my programs though, because here's what I know. If you get stuck in the FUD, you are not moving forwards. And I have seen women stuck here for months, if not years, overwhelmed by fear and doubt. And I was too. I've talked about before when I was in my first business, and I can remember sending my coach at the time really long emails with all this fear and panic about it's not going to work and I'm not going to get clients and I'm so scared and help, right? But I have a process in my programs to keep you on track, because we all fall into that FUD. It's going to happen. That's a given. So you need something practical that you can do right away to get you out of it fast, so you don't get stuck there. And that's how we move forward anyway, despite the fear and the doubt. We move forward, and my process is super practical. It's not, just do some more affirmations and it'll be good and just think positive. No, that didn't work for me. In fact, that almost pushed me more into fear. So the process that I share in my paid programs is really practical. It's not just about painting positivity over it, because that doesn't work. So this keeps you unstuck, because your ego is going to want to keep you stuck. So if you're trying to do this alone, I mean, little to no chance when the fear and doubt hits. That's how it was for me, right? I got stuck and I was playing small. And that's what happened when I first, I relaunched my business 3.5 years ago, and I was doing VA work and I had a full schedule of clients, but I got stuck at a certain level, earning a certain amount of money. And I was so scared to invest again because I'd, invested in all the money before and all the programs, and it hadn't worked. Well, it was all part of the journey, so it hadn't not worked, but I didn't know that at the time. So I was scared to reinvest, right? So I get the fear, I really understand. But I got stuck for a while there. And it was only once I invested that I was able to get unstuck and move forward. So number 4, oh, that's 3 fingers, that's 4. Number 4 is nailing your message. I see, this is the place I see women getting stuck as well. So I worked with a lady, couple of years ago now, I think, and looked at her at her messaging, because she was posting, putting so much effort in. She's a pain specialist. I have, I'll keep her anonymous. She knows who she is, and I've shared some of her story before. And we only worked together for a short time, but we worked on her messaging. And what she was doing was she was putting so much energy into posting. But I got her to do some market research. And again, this is the process I take you through in my paid programs. I do it a very specific way. I give you the questions to ask that you can tailor to your business. But she went and did market research. And what we found out is that she was talking about her client problems in the way she thought that her clients would speak about them, but actually the languaging was off. So that was problem number 1. So she went and talked to her potential clients. She got the information. She learned how they saw their problems, how they were speaking about their problems, and then she was able to apply that in her messaging. Suddenly she started getting a lot more response to her marketing. Now, I happen to know that she's had another breakthrough recently as well, but that was what happened when we worked carefully on the messaging and we nailed that down, and it was just some tweaks. Because here's the other thing that I see a lot. If you are not talking to an urgent enough problem, your clients won't hear you either. It's like sometimes it's just too kind of vague, like, I help women experience more ease and grace in their daily life or something. And it's like, does any woman wake up at 3 a.m. freaking out because she would like to experience a bit more ease and grace in her daily life? No, she doesn't. Like, it's a nice to have. I talk about it in relation to do business like a woman. Yes, we want to create that, but that is not the problem people are waking up with. My clients are waking up in the middle of the night wondering where they're going to get clients, wondering why it's not working, how they're going to make this blooming business earn some money already, because otherwise they're going to have to go back and get a job, and they don't want to do that. So that's what my clients are waking up to. What are your clients waking up to at 3 a.m.? What are they stressing about? Talk to that, right? Get specific. And, usually it's something around like business, money, relationships, or health, and often, weight for women, sadly. But those are the things, right? And you may know, if you're like a health coach, that it's not great for women to focus on their weight, and they should be focusing on, increasing self-love. But it doesn't matter, because that's not how they're thinking about their problem. So if you go in your marketing just about increasing self-love, it's not going to connect with them in the same way that if you go in and talk about losing weight, because that's how they are approaching the problem. Them, not you. You meet them where they're at, and then you give them what they need. Introduce the self-love, because we know that's the reason behind all weight problems, right? And all the problems we struggle with. But you don't lead with that. You meet your client where they're at. And I support you with this process through my programs when we work together. to really get to the crux of the issue. So if you're not sure how to find your client's top 3 problems, reach out to me. We'll get you sorted. So that was number 4, nail your messaging. And number 5, last one, number 5 is issuing invitations gracefully and frequently enough. You know, I shared this story and I'll just share it real quickly again. When I started working with this coach that I told you about and I committed, this was a couple of years ago, and I thought that I was on social media every day, making loads of invitations. I felt like I was being really salesy. Lo and behold, my coach now looks at my marketing, excuse me, and she says, Julie, why aren't you issuing invitations? Why aren't you doing a stronger call to action? And I was a little bit taken aback. I was like, what are you talking about? I am. Because in my mind I was. And like when I did my Facebook Lives, I was saying something or other about coming to work with me. Maybe you're the same. But it wasn't strong enough. It was a little bit like, oh, I don't want to sell to anyone. They might not like me. So I'm kind of going to skirt around it a bit. And I'm just going to say, hey, you know, if you want to come and work with me, you can do that. That'd be cool. I was so wishy-washy around it because I didn't want to say the things. I thought I was being pushy if I made a clear invitation and I outlined the benefits. Well, that was just an excuse. That was my ego talking and keeping me stuck. I wasn't clearly issuing the invitations because I was afraid of being visible, afraid of being disliked, afraid of the no's, afraid of the yeses, afraid that I'd have to do more sales calls and I'd have to learn to really nail that, which I did. You know, we have to learn how to do sales. Afraid of being successful. There was so much fear behind my not being visible. So you have to get willing to issue invitations, and there is an art to this. There's a skillful way to do it so that it doesn't feel like selling, so that you can really do it with love. And again, I teach this on my programs. I encourage my clients, and Alison will tell you, I really encourage them to increase the frequency that they are making these invitations. Because like me, you probably feel like you are doing it a lot, and I bet you're not. I would put money down on that the people here are not issuing invitations frequently enough and elegantly enough and clearly enough. So we work on all of that. So how do I know all of this? Well, it's not long ago that I was in your shoes. You know, I've shared my journey, I've shared my story with you, but I was able to turn it around. And I was able to do that using these 5 steps that I've shared with you today. So let me know if you have got value from the steps. Hi, Wendy. I've just seen that you've joined. Fine to be late. I'm glad you're here. Do watch from the beginning, though, because there was a lot of value shared at the beginning. So, ladies, tell me in the comments, have you received value from what I've shared so far today? You know, I was able to turn around my business using these 5 steps and by choosing a mentor and program to work with and commit to. You know, the last part of my story is really when I did that, and then I did it again. I worked with this first mentor probably for about a year, I'd say, and I got an up level. I got some results, got some clients coming in for the coaching and mentoring side of my business. It was awesome. Started building my email list again because I'd let all that go when I had I don't know if it was a breakdown, but when my life imploded, right, that I've told you about. But I started rocking and rolling, and it felt so good to get the momentum. And I went so far with that coach, and then I realized now it was time for a new mentor. I was ready for another up level, and I went to an event in London, found somebody I wanted to work with, a program I wanted to be in, and I did it again, invested, significant investment. So I keep doing it, and this is what's got me to where I am. And again, up level, clients coming in, income increased. Right, so this is how I was able to do it, by using these 5 steps I'd shared with you and by investing in a program and a mentor that I believed in, and that obviously had walked the steps and to where I wanted to go, right? And could take me there, who I trusted. So I hear people say, and this was me too, so I'm not judging here, but I hear people say, I'm going to do it by myself. And honestly, my energy sinks, because I tried that. Like I did that when I relaunched my VA business. So it started, I should probably just, in case anyone doesn't know that part of my story, I relaunched again over 3.5 years ago, left that job that I'd used to get back on my feet and relaunched. And I got a full schedule of clients within 2 months, was rocking and rolling, earning double from my business what I was earning in my job. So then I transitioned full-time VA, went into being an OBM, but I got stuck because I really wanted to launch the coaching and mentoring side of my business again. That was so my soul's desire. And I thought, I don't want to invest anymore. I'm going to do it myself. And this was way back when, right? Well, I got stuck for about a year, and I was trying all the things I knew. And I can remember even trying to build my email list, and just nothing was happening, right? And I just couldn't get it to work. I couldn't bring in the coaching clients despite all the marketing knowledge and everything I knew. So here's what I know about I'll do it by myself. It will keep you stuck. You may get some results, but it will be slow and painful at best. The results will be very little, if at all. This was my experience. You will not get a big influx of clients. You will be taken up and down by your fears and doubts. Time will pass. And I have seen women stuck here for years, and it's so upsetting. It really is, because there's a huge time and energy cost to this. For me, a wasted year went by. There's an energy cost where you're putting in all this energy and you don't know why it's not working. There's a money cost. Hear this. There's a money cost in lost opportunity, because you're not bringing the clients in that you would be. It was the same for me. I wasn't bringing the clients in, so I wasn't earning the money that I could have done. So there's an opportunity cost. But the worst thing of I'll do it by myself is the effect it has on our confidence. And this is serious, because I got stuck here. I nearly didn't invest again. And I hate to think where I would have been if I hadn't. And I see women stuck here for years. I've got people in mind who I'm thinking of, and I see people lose confidence in themselves. They think that there's something wrong with them or that they can't do it, and it's not. I couldn't do it by myself. None of us can. Go to any successful business owner and look at what she's done. She has not done it by herself, people, particularly in our world. Coaches, VAs, healers, therapists. I'm just saying, because it's heartbreaking, the confidence cost. And at the very worst case scenario, sometimes people give up. And I'm sure you're not at that stage. Like, you won't give up on your business, but don't put yourself through the pain of trying to do it alone. Like, money is a thing, yes, but it's just a thing. Like, oh gosh, I would always choose investing and get the support I need now, because I know that it moves me forward in my business so much more powerfully. Look, there are no guarantees in any of my programs, and I need to be clear about that, or anyone else's programs. There are, well, I don't know about other people's programs, but there are no guarantees with this. But here's what I can promise. If we work together, if I support you, I will help you fill in the gaps in knowledge, the bits you don't know. I will help you see what you can't see for yourself. If you are in, I am in. And that, for me, is the way I've created results, and it's the way I see my clients create results. Like Kath. Now, Kath is also my VA. She doesn't mind me sharing with you, but she was a client first. And when she first came to me, she had never dived into the world of online business, but she really wanted to become a coach. She really wanted to become a VA and have, well, actually at first she didn't want to become a VA, but she really wanted to have a business of her own. Her biggest desire was to work from home and have time to spend with her dog and her husband. She has and had a cleaning business. She was full-time in her cleaning business, but she wanted to do this online business piece. Now, there was quite a journey for Kath. But she worked with me both privately as a coaching client, and also she came through my group program where I taught her my step-by-step signature system for getting clients and launching her business. Remember, this was from scratch, no experience prior to working together. And there was a foray into sober coaching first, which didn't quite take off because Kath wasn't ready. She hadn't landed in her power, just like I hadn't, right? But I was able to hold the space for her. Took some time. She landed in her power. She got there. And today, Kath brought on 5 clients. She was able to let go of half her cleaning business. So she's now working from home half of the time. She has more time with her husband and her dog. She's now going out networking, which she never could have imagined before. She was so resistant to that at the beginning. She's doing discovery calls on a regular basis. She's working as a VA and a coach. She's doing accountability and sober coaching with people. She's working as a VA and she has clients and she's building, and it's so exciting. And once we got going, like after she landed in her power, once we really got going with this and she got serious, she got in my group program. That was the end of summer last year, around August time, I think. And she has created those results since then. So, wow. So that's Kath. Now we also have Alison, and Alison, I'm going to share because I know you're giving me a beautiful testimonial soon. So I'm going to share just a little bit about your story. You gave me permission before. So Alison already has a business, but she was not really making progress that she wanted in her business. She wasn't bringing in the clients that she wanted, both in her styling business and her Arbonne business. And so we worked together. And again, there was a landing in her power that happened. Now, I'm not saying that was down to me, but, and Alison, feel free to comment on this. I think working together helped. Now, of course, this was the work Alison did to land in her own power, but her energy shifted. And I saw it happen. It was amazing. The transformation was amazing. And then she went out, and she's going out now, and she's doing a lot of the in-person stuff that I teach about getting clients. She's utilizing my method. She has private coaching with me. We work together. We tweak it for her unique personality, and she's rocking and rolling. She signed a client to her program last week, selling the first package that we designed together. Before that, it was single sessions. So well done, Alison. She sold her first package, and she's out rocking and rolling, doing speaking, talking to people, getting sessions booked in, and potential clients. So well done, Alison. Then there was Aggie. Now, Aggie went through my group program last year, and she said it's the best she's ever had. She's still working full time, but she brought on some clients too. And there's someone else who I haven't had permission from her, so I'm going to keep her anonymous just because I haven't asked her yet, haven't spoken to her. But we worked together on her messaging, and she was able to tweak it and start to get interest, start to get people on calls with her. Then again, we worked together, and she finally started being herself, and then she got a client, and she'd been struggling. She's one of the people who'd been struggling for a number of years, in fact, trying to do this business thing. So those are just some of the results when we work together in my paid programs. So it doesn't have to take you years. It just doesn't have to. I can help you. I would like to invite you to come onto a free business clarity call with me, and we will discuss whether any of my programs would be a fit for you to support you in creating this business and bringing on all the clients that you want and need, and creating that ideal business, you know, in having a full schedule of ideal clients, working from home, really living out that desire that you mapped out and you thought about at the beginning. So come and have a free business clarity call with me. We will spend an hour together looking deeply at your business. There is some prep work to do. You know, this is not like, this is an investment of your time. It's an investment of my time. I do this with you for free, and we look at your business. And yes, the idea is to see if we're a fit to work together, but we also look at your business, and I will never take on anyone who I don't believe I can help or I don't believe is genuinely a fit to work with me. I have said no to people because they've not been at the right place in their life, or it's not quite been a fit. So please know, but I will be honest with you, if I think that you can absolutely benefit from my help, and I see you stuck in fear, I'll presence that. Now, I have different offerings with different price tags. So the money doesn't have to be a thing. Yeah, it's not like this session is free, but the programs, of course, they're not free. And here's what I know about that. It's when a woman makes an investment, despite all the fear, it's when she puts skin in the game. That's part of it. That needs to happen. And I want to give that to you, that opportunity. So how do you get one of these? There's an application process, because I have limited business clarity calls available. They're limited. I've got a few spots because it's all my time, right? So if you want to get fully booked with all the clients in your business, reach out to me. Now you can go to dobusinesslikeawoman.com/business hyphen, that's the dash in the middle, clarity hyphen call. If that's too confusing, just go to dobusinesslikeawoman.com and click on free stuff. There's a link to book your business clarity call there. Go and do it, right? Or if we're friends on Facebook, you can reach out to me personally. I don't mind that either. And then I will start you on the application process. There's some prep work you'll do, questions you'll answer about your business to help us make the most out of the call together, the time together. Here's my promise to you. When you walk away from this call, whether we work together or not, you will have clarity on your next step. So you will have come out of overwhelm, and you will be clear on exactly what your next steps need to be. So no more confusion, no more guessing. Get clear, know what to do next. So if you're interested in finding out more about working together, I would love to support you. I'd love to hear from you. Book a business clarity call or reach out to me. But ladies, you have to take some action. And here's what I know. The longer you leave it to take action, life will come back in. And you'll get distracted, and before you know it, daily life takes over. This becomes less important and you're stuck again. And I don't want that for you. So if this calls to you, take action now. Please do it for you, not for me. I'm not attached to working with you in particular. I would love to, but I'm not attached to it. But I am available to help you if you are willing to take the steps needed and take the actions and commit. So are you willing? Are you going to make this be the day that your business and life change for good? Are you going to change the trajectory of your business? Or are you going to do nothing and remain stuck? You know, or are you going to try and do it by yourself? And I've described how that goes. Maybe get some mediocre results, but at best probably miss out on a load of clients you could be working, probably bring your confidence down. So what is your choice? What are you going to do? It's decision time, ladies. I know it's scary sometimes. I get that. I'm here for you. If you are ready to change your life and business, I am here to support you with that. Thank you, and I look forward to connecting with you. Lots of love.